Yo, what's up, guys? This is Gericho from Cerritos, California. I'm hanging out with my boy, 34 Questions. And check out my episode anywhere you watch or listen to your podcast, because now you can watch him on YouTube too. So check out his YouTube, 34 Questions. Check out his Spotify, Apple Music, wherever else he streams this shit, 34 Questions. First, I want to see, what's been up with you. Like I follow you too on social media. You have your clothing line, and then you started, like rapping. I met you because we were on shift once, and then you just randomly say, it's like, hey, like I rap, and I was like, really? It was like, yeah, I rap, and then and it's like, can you hear a bar or something? And then you just freestyle, something. Well, I don't know, like if you freestyle it or if you had it in your head already, but I was like, wow, dude, like that's dope, and then I said, I sing. So it's like, yeah, I think we clicked, and then we added each other on Facebook, and like I feel like we watching each other from afar, and I think it's good to reconnect. And now that you're doing this podcast thing, and I've always wanted to support your venture, because like we're all we got.
No doubt, man, no doubt. Yeah, it's I think you're right in saying that we both kind of follow each other from afar, because we're both artists, and I definitely respect an artist in general, man, because I would say an artist going through it, but which artist isn't? Yeah, it's a struggle, but especially when we try to stay pure to our art, which I feel like I can see in you, and it's more enjoyable to see someone following their passion. I'll tell you that, right? Like, I think in my day jobs, everyone's kind of stuck in not following their passion for whatever reason. But so when you see people doing it, I think it also inspires me, to keep going as well. So thank you for being that as well, man.
Thank you, sir.
No worries. So let's jump into the icebreaker, get it out of the way. The one word spelling bee. If you have heard this word before in a previous episode, feel free to just let me know. Scout's honor. But your word is epilepsy.
Epilepsy. Epilepsy. I get 2 tries, right?
Yes, you do.
Okay. So it's epilepsy. EPILEPSY.
You got it right, man.
Did I? Ooh.
Congrats, man.
I would have been. Yeah.
No, you're fine, man.
Okay.
What's it called? This is the third word I've been using, kind of third, fourth. Trying to switch it up. I think this might be too easy because a lot of people are getting it. But regardless, congrats. You will be invited to the Spelling Bee episode if I ever get to it, where I invite all the guests who've gotten their word right to go head to head. So,
like you threw me a curveball right now, because I was waiting for the word liaison. Yeah. So you kind of threw me a curveball right there, so I was like, oh shit. Like,
yeah. No, but hey, man, shoot, that's the sign of a true listener, man. You knew the word from before it came on. But yeah, well, now it's epilepsy for the next couple ones.
All right, cool.
All right, man. Well, let's jump into the warm-up questions to set the tone. First question is, what would you like the audience to know about you?
What would I like the audience to know about me? Well, I would love my audience to know that what they see is what they get with me. I'm pretty much an open book. I love transparency because it makes life easier, people, I think that people in the universe gravitate to you if they see how genuine you are, if they see through your soul, like when they take off my glasses and they see through my eyes, like they know, yeah, James is for real, or Gericho is a real dude. And by no means like am I perfect, but I try. Like I'm not gonna lie, I try to be perfect, and I strive for it. But sometimes it just doesn't work that way. But as long as he's, then it's like who are other people to judge you? Like only you can judge yourself, or you and God can judge yourself. How about that?
Yeah, man. Yeah. Just to let you know, your audio kind of switched up right there.
Oh yeah.
So
Yeah.
All right, for sure.
Am I still good? Yeah.
Yeah, I can still hear you.
Okay.
Yeah, you should be fine.
Okay.
Anyway, but man, now there's a fleeting question. Something you had mentioned that hopefully, I hope it comes back to me. But moving on, if someone were to pay a tribute to you, how would you like to be honored?
Give. Give more than you receive. Whether it's time, like it doesn't have to be a financial or material. Just being there, for someone. Just give. Because like there's so much taking going on in the world that there's not enough giving. So whether it's love, whether it's compassion, just give, dude.
For sure, man. I finally remembered the question from the previous answer, but it was, you mentioned something about trying to achieve perfection. How do you deal with that pressure? That's a lot of pressure, man.
Perfection. Well, I have to convince myself every day, when I wake up and I'm brushing my teeth, I was like, you can't be perfect, Dick, because there's no such thing as perfect. Like you get close to it, but there's no such thing as perfect. Because if you're perfect, like there's no more room for growth, because like everything, like you're the shit already. So like there's no more room for growth. I'm sorry, can I cuss in the show?
Yeah,
I don't
remember. Yeah, you
okay,
can.
Right, cool.
Be yourself. Don't censor yourself. Yeah.
Okay. So perfection is this idea that it's great, but we also have to convince ourselves it doesn't exist. So once you realize in the morning, you can get close to perfect as possible, and remind yourself, like, as long as you give yourself 110% towards that goal, then you can sleep soundly at night at the end of the day.
Yeah, man. No, I feel that. And the last question in the warm-up is, on a scale from 1 to 10, how well do you know yourself?
On a scale of 1 to 10, just like you, like on my highs, I feel like I'm a 9.5, but on my lows, I feel like I'm a 3. But if we average that out, that comes down to around 5. Because I feel like we don't stop learning about ourselves until our last breath. So I never want to say that I'm at a 9.5 or a 10, because dude, like, you don't stop learning until you're on your deathbed, and that's the beauty about life. So
yeah. What would you say is your favorite thing about yourself?
Favorite thing about myself? Does it have to be something I'm born with, or something that I worked with, or that I developed and worked on?
Either one. Just for you personally. What's the thing that you like about yourself the most?
Self-love, confidence. Knowing my worth and what I bring to the table, and with that, like that sounds all positive, but with that also comes the negative, that your incapabilities, your shortcomings, like you kind of limit yourself and be like, okay, I know I can do this very well, but I can't do that very well, but I could rest on this real quick and further develop that, because I know I'm lacking in that aspect. So like in that aspect, I think I like that I love myself, like I know my worth, and these are things that I develop over time as I'm growing up.
No doubt. For sure. Now we've made it to the main interview questions. What level would you like to start off with? You want to just go with the flow, or you want to choose a level to go with?
So each level has 34 questions each, or?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. You know what? I'm gonna start off easy.
Okay. Yeah. And whenever you feel like you want to move on to the next level, just let me know.
Okay.
Go with 1 to 34. Which one you choosing?
Let's go Cristiano Ronaldo, 7.
7. What change would you like to see in the world?
What change would I want to see in the world? It's very relevant right now, but I want more, I guess. When people say justice for all, I actually want to see justice for all, It's like, because like here in the US, like race is such a huge like divisive thing. Like I just want people to be more educated and be more cultured, to be more sensitive and accepting to other culture, that we could actually be a United States instead of just a United States, you know, quote unquote, you know, united, but internally, you know, we're so divided. And I'm looking out, and I was telling my brother, I think it was, or one of my friends or one of my colleagues, I was like, dude, our foreign enemies like are looking at us right now, laughing at us, you know, saying we don't have to do anything because they're gonna destroy themselves from the inside, because you know they hate Mexicans, you know, they hate Asians, you know, they hate Black people. So it's like, you know, like they're gonna perish themselves. So I mean, like if I want to see change, I mean, I want to see us be united and accepting and accept the fact that our diversity is not a crux to our country, but actually a strength.
No doubt. What would you say caused this this view on this rift in America?
I think it's just fundamentally there. You know, I mean, if you come to look at it, you know, like the Europeans came and settled here, took the land from whoever was in here already. You know, like the Native Americans. It's just fundamentally there. You know, like they feel so entitled to expand this whole landmass here. I mean, I would get into a whole history, dude. Like I'm a history nut, but it you know, like the way they, you know, they migrated like the Chinese people to work on the railroads, or you know, the way they brought the Africans to work in cotton fields. It's very systematically like ingrained in the history of the United States. And I think, you know, like Filipinos came to Hawaii to work on the pineapple fields. I mean, if I could get my Filipino history right. So see, like there's always a purpose of why people were migrated here. And and today it's just like a different reason for why people are migrating here. Like, you know, like Latin Americans are working our fields in Bakersfield, right? So, you know, like nurses are coming here for the medical field. So it's different reasons, but they're being brought in here for a certain purpose. And, you know, like some people are accepting of it and some people aren't.
Yeah, you made a good point that I hadn't thought about, as far as like these different professions, that it seems like that's why the door is open for us to come over. It's like, okay, you can come over, but you're gonna have to do this for us. So that's interesting. And for justice for all, you think it's possible? Like what's it gonna take for us to get there?
What's it gonna take for us to get there? Well, you know, we gotta get these old heads in government out of first and get some new blood in. You know, like a more diverse new blood, I guess. You know, I don't want to sound like a politician, but I mean that's the way to go. You know, like with generations, views change, right? And the documents or the documents like the Constitution or whatever, you know, like these hateful people want to quote as you know, something that they're protecting. Like it should be able to move along with the times. And I think the more we get rid of the older generation and the more we encourage, you know, the younger generation, say, hey, run for office, you know, like the sooner like this change will come about.
No doubt. You gonna be running for office or not your thing?
No. not yet. It's like at least like it hasn't crossed my mind yet. But like I'm very like socially conscious, because you know, like the population, you know, that I serve, you know, like they're marginalized. So like I'm always like in the trenches, so to speak.
For sure. You know, I had thought about, like, if I was ever going to be a politician, I would just want to do a small town, mayor of a small town. And,
right?
You know, where you can know everybody and you can actually fix things. And, you know, because, yeah, I mean, I wasn't born here, so president's out of the question. So, you know, president's not even an option. But, yeah, small town mayor, well, sign me up.
Yeah, I feel it, man.
So a new thing with the format I was telling you about is I got these curveball questions now. And so you could choose. There's 2 different ones. Just know if whichever one you choose, you're gonna do the other one later on. But it's either fill in the blank or a shout out question where you actually shout someone out, where you may have to name somebody. That's what I mean by shout out. But it's always gonna be positive. It won't be nothing negative.
Okay. Let's go fill in the blank.
Fill in the blank.
Safe bet. Yeah.
All right. I'm too old to blank.
I'm too old to get drunk in the bar, dude. Yeah. You know, I mean, I left that at 22, 23. You know, and that's them undergrads or whatever. Like, that's them, dude. I mean, you know, I'm too old for that.
Yeah, the bar life ain't for you.
No, unless I'm being paid to play a couple of tunes, then yeah. But like me, you know, partying in a bar and spending the money is like, nah, dude. Like there are better ways to spend money now that we're on our age near 30. So
for sure.
So, you know,
yeah. So what experiences do you want to pay for? Like, does your money go to trips? Does it go to like good food? Like, yeah.
Nowadays, it's a combination of trips, food, concerts, more like health-based shit. You know, like you know, Zumba classes or maybe like 5 sessions of jiu-jitsu, but you know, like more more like honoring the body or the temple, as most people would say. You know, so kind of those type of stuff. But you know, bar life, no, dude. I left that at 22, 23 when I was still using my student loan money.
Yeah, man, I feel you. I mean, I'm not much of a drinker, but when I guess when I do go out, I go for the occasion and probably drink more than I should. But yeah, I'd rather be at home with good company, and you know.
I mean, don't get me wrong. Like, if the booze is free, then you know I'm down to get drunk. But you know, if I gotta pay for it, you know, go to Baja Sharkies or something or Hermosa, nah, sign me out. I'm done. Like,
I got you. What's your choice of drink?
Choice of drink. I like Jack and Coke.
Gotcha. Now that's a classic, and yeah, it tastes good. So
Cherry Coke's even better.
Cherry Coke. Oh, yeah. I don't think I've tried it with Cherry Coke. Interesting. Yeah. Have you tried the was it apple cider and whiskey?
No, but yeah. I'm about to write that down in my notebook real quick.
Yeah,
apple cider and whiskey.
What's it called? If you want to heat it up, it's usually a wintertime drink. So it's like, you know, something to go with eggnog or like, you know, keep it on the low. Yeah,
like a Christmas drink.
Yeah, it's like a Christmas drink.
Okay. Dope. All right. Apple cider and whiskey. I would definitely keep that in mind for this Christmas. All right. Thanks, man. Yeah, Appreciate that.
No worries. Okay. What's it called? So yeah, still sticking to level 1, going to level 2, level 3.
Let's go level 2. Let's go with the 24 Kobe.
24 Kobe. What does it mean to have a healthy perspective?
A healthy perspective, kind of like how I mentioned earlier, that you could see 2 sides of a coin, right? So, you know, a healthy perspective is knowing the good that's out in the universe, but also being able to identify that on the flip side of that good, there's a bad involved or there's a negative involved. And being able to balance yourself in the middle and see it for what it is, and still make that decision, you know, whether you fuck with it or you don't fuck with it. I don't know if that makes sense.
No, I got you.
Okay.
I got you. I was focused on this question I had for you, but it's fleeting. So for you, did you always have a healthy perspective, or was it something that you eventually kind of had to discover for yourself?
I think I had a naturally happy-go-lucky way of living life, you know, since I was a kid. You know, like I used to be carefree, where it's like whatever comes to me, like lands on my lap, because it just happened to land on my lap. But now that, as you mentioned, like there's career, like my hobby in music and this and that, going on, it kind of grounds me and say, okay, like those things, that lands on my lap magically, like didn't land on my lap magically, because like there's been hard work and things that I did to get in that position, for that good thing to land on my lap. So I definitely had to redevelop that thought of the positive mindset to rephrase the term you used. But yeah, I think I definitely had to work on it.
Sure. And then I actually wanted to ask you about your music as well. Since
I owe you a beat, by the way. Yeah, please bug me on that. My semester ends on Saturday, so I was about to text you. I'm sorry it's taking too long, but I owe you a beat. But I'm gonna get to that, once my semester's done. Is that cool?
Yeah, man. I didn't even know you owed me a beat.
Okay.
But I'm with it. Yeah. I didn't know you produced too. That's dope. I mean, I know you play instruments, but I didn't know you were making beats, man. That's sick. What's it called? I think I told another producer recently who was a guest. I was like, yeah, you should sing or like have your voice be a melody on the beat, because like I think that's just gonna blow up and people are gonna like pay good money for that already set up for them,
Yeah.
But yeah, maybe I'll link you to the guy. I'll see if he's open to linking with other artists too, but that'd be cool. That'd be pretty dope. But anyways, yeah, music, when did it start for you, man?
It started with me when I was, I'd say 4. Like I used to live in the Middle East, like in Saudi Arabia, and in the Filipino community over there, among the OFWs or the overseas like Filipino workers, right? They would have like all these gatherings and everything, and like they show off their kids and what their kid does and this and that. So my dad was like, well my kid can sing. And I was like, I mean, I can't sing. What are you talking about? I mean, I go home, but I can't sing. But my dad's really been the driving force in me singing. So, like he would put me up like on those stages, like with my fake toy guitar, rocking out to some Bryan Adams tunes. And he got me started playing piano when I was 7 or 8. And then I left piano because I was like, man, this is shit lame. I don't want to do that, during my teens. And then 15 came around and I moved to I was in the United States by then. And I joined choir, and I noticed that the children's choir, the children sing, but the teenagers play an instrument, and I'm like, the only big dude over there, singing with the little kids. I was like, you know what? I mean, I want to pick up I want to play an instrument again, so I could be with my age group. So I told my dad, hey dad, can I pick up the guitar? I know that I quit on the piano, but can I pick up the guitar and this time for real? And ever since then, I mean, I've been playing guitar. Like, I'm not a guitar hero. I mean, I just know chords and, just enough, for me to write or to sing my lyrics to. Look, if that makes sense. Yeah.
No doubt. So dang, I mean, makes me think that your dad must have heard you hum pretty damn good, like at a really young age, to be like, yo, that's some talent right there. I don't think I've heard that from like a little baby yet or anything, where the humming just seems so melodic. So,
yeah, that's just how I recall the story. But I'm pretty sure that if I ask them again, like it's probably going to be like another variation of that story. So like I'm sticking with that one because that was easy to remember.
No doubt.
Yeah.
What's it called? So what was like your influences with your music?
Influences in my music? Well, I got started singing Bryan Adams because at 4 years old, you don't really know artists. Right, and then as I got older and I got influenced by friends to listen to like Linkin Park and like freaking Mike Shinoda starts rapping, and I was like, that's cool. What is that? That's rap. So I started listening to rap music, and then you hear the Mary J. Blige saying, that's cool. What is she doing? R&B music. And I was like, okay, like let's go look at R&B. And then when I delved into R&B, it's like, dude, R&B has a whole fucking history. Motown. And it's funny how everything goes back full circle, because Bryan Adams, this white boy from Canada, this white rocker dude, from Canada, like his biggest influence are the soul voices of Motown. So and I didn't realize that until I was like 24, 25, and I was like, wow, like this shit came full circle. So I love R&B music. Like Neo's my dude, Chris Brown's my dude. Motown, I love Motown. So to me, like with everything that the Black people or people of color have done for the culture here in the United States, and they're being treated wrong, and I was like, like that don't sit well with me, man. Because us, me and you with your with your rap music, like your clothing line, like this podcast, like, dude, like us minorities, dude, like we're the ones that are making shit happen here in the United States, man. We're the ones that are rolling the wheel of innovation.
Yeah, no, I'm with you, and I think that like
that wasn't convincing, man.
No. It's just that, man, like we doing the work, but I still think there's like the ultra rich getting paid off our work,
That's
like,
true.
Yeah. Trying to figure out how we're gonna make this money on our own, and for I mean, I don't like I know there's the racism going on, but then also that reverse racism of like where there's certain white people that it's hard to trust because of the judgments that we may have, as a minority. So I'm trying to be aware of that and trying to just like but yeah,
and it's difficult, man. Like it's difficult because like every time that a white person want to fuck with you, like you start thinking, well, what does he want? What is his true intentions, right? But like some white people are genuine, bro. Like when the person is genuine, I mean, I think like you could see it, because I I try to be as genuine as possible, like no hidden agendas, like I like you asked me like why did I want to come on your show? I mean, I want to support everything that you do, I mean, I want to support your clothing line, like I owe you a beat because like you mentioned that you feel like you're a failed rapper, and I said, no, bro, there's no such thing. Rapping is in your blood, just like singing is in my blood, so like don't ever set yourself short, because if there's ever a time that you don't got you, I got you, because we're all we got. We have to be this united unit, right?
Yeah, man. And something, when you had reached out and kind of told me like, yo, man, don't say that about yourself, it made me realize that what I was doing was I was trying to put myself into a box and tell myself, oh, I'm not that, I'm this, or I'm done, like just trying to make myself just one thing, when I forgot that we are a lot of things. We're not just one
thing. It's funny how this question branched off of the number 24, because Kobe Bryant, bro, like he's not just a basketball player, he's a coach, he's an author, he's a filmmaker, and to me, like as a Spurs fan, I fucking hated Kobe, but once he retired, and then I realized it's like, yo, like this motherfucker does a lot more things than what he does in the basketball court. And I was like, max respect, like he's my new idol.
Well, when did you become a fan of Kobe? Because I'll tell you, man, I was not also a fan until later on in his career, but it was because I was a Shaq fan, and the Lakers chose Kobe over Shaq, and I was all like, oh, man. Yeah, and I was all like, okay, you gonna do that? Well, then, and yeah, then I probably moved to the Warriors right after, because they were the hometown for me. But yeah, so when did that switch happen for you? Like
when he won an Oscar.
Yeah.
So and then reading his book, his autobiography, or watching his HBO biography called Muse, or docuseries called My Muse or something. Like that clicked it to me. It's like, dude, like this guy's more than just a basketball player. Like I'm just, I'm more than just a singer. I'm more than a cop. I'm more than just a social worker. Like I could be multifaceted and still be James, could be Gericho, you know what I mean? So
yeah, that's like, I didn't know Kobe personally, and it's hard for me to talk about people who passed like I knew them, but it's like one thing I know I'm gonna kind of miss and not be able to see is what he was gonna make after basketball, because you know, just the one film that he made, or I don't know how many films that he made, but just his other works, you know, he brought that focus, that energy, the Mamba way of wanting to dominate whatever he was gonna do. So we missed out on a lot of great, you know, great creations from Kobe. That's the one thing that I think bums me out about, you know, him not being around anymore. But let's jump into another question.
Okay, let's bump it up another level. Let's go Manu Ginobili 20.
Manu Ginobili.
Spurs, right?
Yeah, Spurs. This one's heavy, man. But it's, when was the last time you felt left out?
The last time I felt left out? Yeah, that's a tough one. You know what? I've always considered myself an underdog. I mean, that's probably why I have that drive, you know, for perfection. You know, like I'm still chubby now, but I was fatter when I was a kid. And dude, you know, when you're a kid around like less than 10 years old, kids are fucking mean, bro. So we would be playing soccer or basketball, and since, you know, I'm the pudgy kid, is like, I'm always last pick, and the person, you know, that had the misfortune of picking me, you know, kind of like, fine, I'm gonna get him. So, and that's always been the case, you know. I feel, I mean, that's a driving motivation, like, you know, like a Steph Curry's chip on his shoulder, you know. So, but when was the last time? I mean, I don't remember, honestly, because I don't, like, I choose not to dwell on people, you know, who wrong me, or, you know, like who isolate me, you know, from what's happening. Because in my head, hey, you know what, you know, you want to isolate me from what you're doing, that's fine, because, you know, I got another thing going on, you know, over here. You know, I'm a chameleon that if you don't want me, like, in your clique, I mean, I could go click up with these guys and see what they're up to, and, you know, make something out of that, you know. So yeah. No, I mean, I get it. Sometimes it's just a state of mind, you know. If you're not thinking that way, then you're never gonna see it that way, which is I think that's a great way to look at things, man. Like, you know, oh, you guys are busy, it's cool, I'll do this thing, or you guys want to do that, I don't want to do that, let me go do my own thing. I think more people should have that kind of mentality, you know. Yeah, and thank you for opening up about your, you know, childhood stories too. I was also part of that club. And yeah, I remember, like, it's crazy to me to think that, like, I was bullied, and then a lot later in my life, when we actually had like a little reunion, like, that dude came up to me and apologized, and, you know, told me, like, yeah. And wait, can I ask you a question though? When he said sorry, and I'm curious, like, from a, you know, social work, you know, perspective, as you know, being the victim of his bullying from like nearly 30 years ago, you know, how did that feel for you? You know, when he said sorry.
You know, at the time, I kind of brushed it off and was just like, oh, dude, don't even trip. I didn't even think about it, right? Yeah. But, you know, like, to be honest, maybe it did, like, affect me in other ways that I just didn't want to admit. You know, just confidence level going throughout life and whatever. And so, you know, I definitely appreciated his apology. And I was just like, damn, like, after kind of taking time with it, that's when it was like, more impactful, or I could see the benefit of it, and, you know, like, it makes my appreciation for it even more. But yeah, like, it makes me have a soft spot for kids who are going through it too. But, you know, this dude, like, we were also friends. Like, that's the thing. You know, he came over to my house for sleepovers when we were kids, and, you know, vice versa, we were on the same teams, and it was just like, you know, even back then, I didn't let it get to me except one time. But all the other times, I'm the kind of dude to just straight up ignore it. Like, if they were bullying me, I literally, like, sat knees crossed and like started meditating, like because that's just how I was dealing with it. Like I was like, all right, well, y'all gonna talk all this shit about me, I'm gonna sit down right here, not move, not do anything. Yeah, be zen. That was, I don't know why, but I was like, let me just shut it down and like have them get tired out from trying to make fun of me. And yeah, the reason why also that like I ended up kind of going back to it was I still do remember the song they used to sing to like get on my nerves like way back in the day, and like it is a tune in my head. So like as much as I didn't want to admit it at that moment, I was like, damn, this is had an effect on me if I could still remember this damn song. But yeah, so that was just my experience with it.
Since you mentioned the song, right? I mean, if you could remember the tune, can we flip that into something positive and sample that tune? But instead of using, you know, the lyrics that they had, well, you know what? Like you do struggle rap, so maybe we could work that to our advantage and make a song where it's like, you know, like we're singing, you know, what they're singing, you know, but you're saying something uplifting, like, you know, like these were the words, you know, they used to tell me, you know, but it, you know, didn't get me down because fuck it, look at me now, right? You know, something like that. I don't know, man. Like just brainstorming ideas.
We can definitely use it. I think it'd be hilarious because honestly, what made it even funnier for me as I got older is the song was Skinny Jan riding on a scooter. That's what they used to sing, right? It was sarcastic because I was not skinny back then. But then as I got older, like and got into better shape, I was riding my scooter. And that was a song I was singing in my head because it was actually like true this time. Like, yeah. So, bruh, I already think like if we use that as a sample in a song, as a whatever, that's already like the first scene of like the music video. I'm riding my scooter down the street and then like, you know, turn into something positive. That would be kind of bananas, but
right?
Yeah, maybe, I mean, man. Let's see what's up.
I'm saying,
for sure. Let me throw you another curveball right now, and give you a shout out question if you don't mind.
Of course.
So this one is, did you have a favorite teacher, coach, or mentor that kind of, you know, helped you kind of get to where you are? It could be teacher, coach, or mentor. It could be like, you know, with your music or without your music, just life in general. Doesn't have to be specific.
Okay. Shout out from someone that's involved in both art history. I used to have the supervisor back in Manhattan Beach. His name is Alfonso Reyes. I think he graduated the same year as you from Long Beach. He taught me how to become the consummate professional. You know, he's always, you know, when I would ask him for reference letter, you know, he's always giving me a good word. And, you know, like working with him, because like he was that mentor, you know, for me, like back in MB, I didn't want to fuck up on shift, you know, like just, you know, like he like, it wasn't imposing that on me, but just because, hey, you know, like my mentor is counting on me, you know, like that gave me like a sense of reliability, you know what I mean? That people can rely on me. So shout out to him, you know, like he's imparted with me great life lessons, you know, we'd be jawing back and forth when we play basketball, but, you know, at the end of the day, you know, tell me, you know what, like you can't lose your cool just like that, you know, because like if you're losing your cool like that way, like in the court, how are you gonna lose your cool when you're so passionate about, you know, something in real life, you know? So it's like you can't lose your cool like that. And it's just those like little bits of wisdom and knowledge that I think helped me become the consummate professional of always giving, you know, 100%, and, you know, like taking pride on how people can rely on me. And I don't know, man, you know, shout out to Alfonso, you know, wherever he is right now.
No doubt, man. Yeah, I mean, Alfonso's always been the homie, man. He was one of the first homies when I switched my major. We were like in the same like intro class to rec and everything. So I think we vibed because he was wearing the Cowboys jersey, and, you know, I could just click with him on football, you know. So yeah, and
you know, he's a natural coach, you know. And then, you know, he told me that he used to coach like little league or something, and I was like, I mean, I could see that. I could definitely see that. You know, he's just a natural coach, and I think that, you know, like if he would have stayed like in Manhattan, he would have been perfect for staff development. You know, like, you know, he just had that, you know, big brother, like, I'm gonna teach you the right way, and, you know, because that's how, you know, how he done me. I don't know, like if that's how he brought you in too, but, you know, my experience with him, like, that's always been the case. Okay, so, you know, like, you want to learn how to do this? Come ride in the truck with me, and, you know, we're gonna go on the rounds, and I'll teach you what I do on my rounds. You know, I was like, all right, cool.
No, you're right. Yeah. Not he same vibe with me, man. He actually did a lot for me. He got me playing intramurals. He also got me hooked up with a youth organization. So as for my internship, I was, you know, for that last semester and for rec. Yeah. And yeah, I mean, shout out Alfonso for sure, man. I hope to get you on the show one day if you see this.
I got his contacts, so if you need it.
Okay, yeah. Let me know after. Just a heads up, we have about 10-15 minutes left in the show. I think we could get one more question in from one of the levels. Feel free to shoot me another number.
You know what? Pick any level, and I'm gonna pick your number, 34.
Gotcha. So, what can gain your trust?
What can gain my trust? Simple, man. Transparency, authenticity. Be genuine with me, you know. For example, like, I have this kid who's trying, you know, he sent me a DM on Instagram, and he's trying to talk to me about collaborating with him. Like, you know, he's a rapper too, and the way that he approached me, hey, you know, here's my number, text me, you know, I want to work with you. And then I'm texting him, and then finally I said, I'm gonna go see what the fuck this kid wants. I call him up, and at first he said, hey, you know, I think you're really dope. Like, I like the way you sing, and, you know, I would love to get you on a track and this and that. You know, like, I have this much followers on YouTube and social media, whatever. I'm linked to this record label. You know, I have an agent and this and that. And I told him, you know what, dude, I don't care about none of that. You know, like, I've been in this game now for nearly 10 years now. I don't care about none of that. You know, I want to know you as a person, because, like, if I know you as a person, then good product will come out of our relationship, and that product is music. Good music will come out of our relationship. So I want to know what type of person you're like outside of music. You know, what makes you run in the morning? You know, what makes you wake up? Like, what motivates you to get up? You know, like, who motivates you? Like, how do you want to motivate others? Or how do you think your art will impact others? You know what I mean? You know, like, what, you know, what type of vibe are you gonna emanate out to the universe for other people to consume and say, yeah, it's gonna be a good fucking day, or it's gonna be a good fucking month, it's gonna be a good fucking year. You know what I mean? So yeah, because there's a lot of taking in this world, but not enough giving, right? I think I mentioned that earlier. I'm getting older. So, but yeah, you know, like, what are you giving back to the world with your art, with your presence? Or are you just here on earth, you know, taking up oxygen? I mean, that's cool too, but, you know, I think everybody is very talented, or have a certain level of talent that makes them so valuable to everyone, like in the universe or the world. How are they maximizing that? You know?
Yeah, man. Yeah. I think, you know,
I know.
Well, in your experience, do you think more people are doing that? Are they using their talents and maximizing it? Or do you feel like more people are kind of, you know, trying to take advantage?
When you say they're trying to take advantage, and yeah, because now, like, the motivation of some people is stacking it, getting that green. But in reality, I think the wealth is not what's in your bank account or what's in your wallet. It's actually how you impact the world, right? You know, like, it's how you impact your neighbor, you know, like your fellow venture or your fellow, I guess, entrepreneur. Like in my case, I came in here, with the purpose of doing a great interview with you because like I want you to be, I want to get your ratings up, man. I came here, rocking your gear because, dude, I want people to know that, hey, I'm loving this sweater. Like I love his struggle rap. I heard 4 bars like in 2013, and I was like, Jan's a dope dude, right? And then you sent me like that Google link, and I was like, motherfucker's a cool dude. It's like, and then I listened to all your episodes of your podcast because again, I want to see you maximize your full you, and I am a firm believer, even as a Catholic, like I'm a firm believer in karma, and that seed that I plant, like I'm gonna sow that, or I'm gonna harvest that later. I mean, I don't know in what capacity, but it's gonna come back.
No doubt, man. No doubt. Yeah, I mean, if ever I blow up, man, I'm definitely gonna get you on, be a musical guest, be maybe part of the house band, whatever. But
I appreciate that, sir. Appreciate that.
Yeah.
Or actually, if anything, I mean, I don't know, like if I'm gonna be doing music like that seriously, where I'm trying to blow up, just fund one of my foundations or my charitable things that I'm trying to do in life. So I mean, that would be great. Just give.
Okay. Yeah, I got you. Well, let me ask you that. I don't think I've asked you, but where do you see, what's your vision with music? Like where do you want to be with it?
Okay, when I was younger and naive, I wanted to be the next Neo. Like, no lie. And I'm thinking to myself, even better than Neo, because like Neo only plays the piano. I mean, I play all these fucking instruments, so I could be better than him. Like it's like in that aspect. But now it's like, and then it kind of changed, and I was like I want to use my music in a way to unite people, and then do something like in the same way that Bono does, in the lead singer of U2. Like he's so involved, socially. I mean, I want to use my music to voice, to give me a platform to voice my social opinions, but still have that credibility because I am Gericho. Like my name itself, speaks weight.
Yeah, no doubt. Well, I can see that happening for you, man, especially in the work you're involved in. I'm sure you're gonna find a way to make that impact, and as long as you keep making your music, man, it'll be an easy way for people to support you. So we've made it to the concluding portion of the podcast. I got a few more closeout questions for you, but real quick, do you have any questions for me?
I do, but I could ask you like separately outside the pod because I want to respect your time in the pod.
No worries. Appreciate that. So this next question is actually from a previous guest, and I will also ask you what you would like to ask the next guest. But for now, shout out to Charlie for this question. How do you choose joy each day? What's up?
I think I remember this one. So what's the question again?
How do you choose joy each day?
How do I choose joy each day? I mean, that's an easy choice. Like you could either be sad and miserable, or you could be happy that you woke up in the morning. How do I choose joy? I mean, I choose joy with just the simple fact that I woke up in the morning. That I get a chance to take a piss, and like I'm not pissing blood or anything that's bad.
Yo, man, that's one of my nightmares right there, dog.
So like you take victories like in the little things, and not have like so much of an expectation of the perfect day, that it's just like, okay, like let's take it step by step. Like you woke up today, like your piss is not blood. Like you have a car to drive to your internship or your work. You get to meet cool people. So if you take it step by step like that, joy is so much easier to achieve, and realize like who's on your corner, who's or who the universe will bring to you because of your joy. Because happiness like emanates into the universe, and people gravitate because of your happiness. Like they're not all going to be good people, but like that's your skill set to to filter out the good, from the bad. But like if you choose joy, the right people will come to you.
For sure. On days where it's not so easy to find to choose joy, how do you find your joy?
How do I find my joy? I remind myself, that there are people that want to see me succeed, and like the people that want to see me fail. And like the biggest fuck you to those people that want to see you fail is you doing you and being happy and succeeding. So and on the flip side of that, the biggest validation that you could give the people that care about you is also your success. So it's a two-edged sword. Like it's a fuck you to the haters, and it's a see, I did this for you to the lovers and carers.
For sure, man.
I'm weird, huh? I know.
Hey, don't be ashamed of that. Be proud. We're all weird, dog. And yeah. My next question for you is, what would you like to ask the next guest?
What would I want to ask the next guest? If you could change something about yourself, for better or for worse, what would it be and why?
Got you. If you could change something about yourself, for better, for worse?
Yeah. And what would it be and why? Can I add a part B to that?
Yeah.
And how would you use that to impact the world in a positive way?
And how would you choose to impact the world in a positive way?
Or using that thing that you just changed, you know what I mean?
Yeah. I'm very curious what people are gonna come up with for that one.
Me too.
My very last question for you, man, is what would you like your descendants to know about you? Generations down the road, you're trying to figure out who they are. You want to know what their ancestors are like. What would you tell them?
I've always lived my life as if I want to leave a legacy to my name and those, like my offsprings that might carry my name one day. So if there's a legacy that's going to be connected to our name, like I want it to be of generosity, to be of genuineness, to be of compassion, to be of justice, because like the material things and wealth, like I can't take that to the grave with me. I could pass it on to my children, but like that won't teach them the valuable lessons of hard work and appreciating what they have if they don't have it. You know what I mean? So if anything, I want my future generation to know that, hey, like great grandpa James, like he was generous dude. He loved giving, like he loved to improve the world. He loved to see the next man maximize his full potential in the world.
No doubt, man. After this interview, hopefully they get that and they can see it. I think you made it very clear what you're about. And on that note, I want to appreciate your openness, man. I appreciate the energy you brought, all the support. Yeah, man, you definitely one of my biggest supporters, and I appreciate that, man, fully.
Likewise.
And shout out to the folks watching at home. Thank you for tuning in, hearing Gericho's story, and giving us your time. Much love to you guys as well. And yeah, still trying to figure out. You want to leave them with a little melody or the mic not good good enough?
I think the mic is always good enough. So Jen and I, we're gonna be back soon. We're working on some good tones. Hey, here you go.
Hey, much love, man. That was awesome.
Much love, man.